What's up? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Bits for everything good and bad inside the world of Apple. You know what? I am back from my gig at CES 2021, and it was just amazing to be a part of it and actually dress up for the first time in a year. So, of course, you know, when I come back, we get some of our juiciest Apple news and rumors in the past few months. So, get ready for a fun 2021 if you're an Apple fan, because according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, we're getting major redesigns on a new MacBook Pro for this year, new iMac models for this year as well, and new Mac Pro desktops for 2022. So let's start off with the new MacBook Pros, and you've probably heard some of this, but according to Bloomberg, Apple will be bringing all new processors, updated displays, a return of its MagSafe magnetic charging, and they're also testing versions without the touch bar. Hallelujah indeed. And the report says the new laptops will come in 14-inch and 16-inch versions, internally codenamed J314 and J316. Both will bring the second generation of Apple's M1 processor with more cores and enhanced graphics, but we don't know the exact specifics since they're still in testing. It's not confirmed if they will be using mini LED displays, but the report says they will include brighter and higher contrast panels. And they'll also look similar to the current MacBook Pros with minor design changes, according to Gurman, with a launch set for sometime the middle of this year. Now, Gurman also reports Apple will finally bring back MagSafe. This is the magnetic power adapter connection that originated on their MacBooks back in 2006. On MacBooks, this is not a form of wireless charging. It just allows the cable to simply detach if it gets yanked, and the new laptops are expected to charge at a faster rate and then be similar to the elongated pill-shaped connection from the past. And if you aren't foaming at the mouth already, this is where it gets even juicier. Apple has also tested versions that remove the touch bar from its laptop keyboards. Hallelujah! If you've been watching me for years, you know I hate this thing. And I know hate is a strong word, but it's been one of the most useless innovations that Apple has brought to the table, and they never improved it since 2015. That's the biggest thing to me. They never brought haptics to it, which would have been a compromise. They just put it there and let it be pretty much the same all these years. And I know that there are some of you that actually enjoy the touch bar, and that's okay. You know, I still love you. And if they get rid of it, I think that they should at least keep Touch ID, which I'm sure they will. I even did a quick poll on Twitter before recording this, and at that time, with over 400 respondents, about 36% of people said keep the touch bar, and almost 64% of you said no to the touch bar. So look, Apple's, listening to us. They finally get rid of the butterfly keyboard, and people realized what they were missing, even though I had to keep telling you all. Now it looks like they're bringing back MagSafe to MacBooks. That's amazing. And before I get, way too ahead of myself, this doesn't mean the touch bar is going away just yet until it's official, but this is a good sign that it is. Then you add the new Apple chip, you add all of its performance and battery life improvements, and then an updated display. Come on now, I cannot wait for the new MacBook Pros to get here. Now, Ming-Chi Kuo also adds on his own report that the MacBook Pros will bring a new flat edge design and describes it as similar to the iPhone 12 with no curves at all, like the current models. Think of it just as a flat slate, and it will be the most significant design update to the MacBook Pro in the last 5 years. He also echoes no touch bar with the return to physical function keys. And on top of Bloomberg's info, he says the new MacBook Pros will also bring additional ports, and most people will not need to purchase a dongle anymore to get the additional ports that we've been missing all this time. Gurman adds in his report that Apple is planning for a redesigned MacBook Air, but it's not expected to be released until long after these new MacBook Pros. And to all of this that we just heard, wow, there is so much in that first story. I'd love to hear, what are you all thinking about after hearing about the touch bar, the MagSafe? Put your thoughts in the comments below, people, because, yeah, I guess I'll read them. Of course I read them. So, sheesh, we're just getting started here, because in another report from Mark Gurman and Bloomberg, it says that Apple is planning its first redesign for the iMac in nearly a decade to launch with their new processors as well. We've all wanted that iMac chin to go away for a long time, maybe for the past 5 years. We've just been crossing our fingers and hoping for a new design. Well, the new report says that Apple will slim down the thick black borders around the screen, get rid of the chin, and bring a design that's more similar to Apple's Pro Display XDR. The new iMacs will also have a flat back and get rid of that curved back that's been on the iMac for years. They're planning on launching two versions, a 21.5-inch and a 27-inch model. Again, we'll see Apple Silicon inside, but it hasn't been specified which processor and then how many cores it will come with, since this is still in development. It will be one of the biggest visual updates to any Apple product this year, according to Bloomberg sources, and will be released sometime this year, but not anytime soon. So we might be looking at maybe the second half of 2021. Now, the iMac for me has always been this killer all-in-one solution for consumers and pros. I mean, I still use my 2011 iMac for my podcast production, and it's just been a workhorse for me. So I love everything that we're hearing for this update as well. But wait, there's still more from Bloomberg. Gurman also adds that Apple is now working on a pair of new Mac Pro desktop computers. One of them will be an update to the current Mac Pro and will use the same design as the 2019 model with its $700 option for wheels because Apple. Now, the report says Apple has discussed continuing to use Intel processors for that model instead of moving to its own chips. But the second model will use Apple's own new processors and will be less than half the size of the current Mac Pro. And here's where I start peeing myself, because they say the design will reportedly be a mostly aluminum exterior and is hoping to, as the report says, invoke nostalgia of the Power Mac G4 Cube. That is the same freaking cube that I have in my background over here from day one. Like, come on, I'm gonna get it for you really quick. Look how gorgeous this thing is. Its design, I mean, it honestly, like, it still holds up today. Yeah, this is heavy, but you can't tell me that this design is making a comeback. Look at the top here. It's so sick. It's so elegant. And now you're telling me it could possibly make a comeback for the new Mac Pro maybe in 2022? That's a rad apple.
Yeah.
I love everything about this, and this new Mac Pro would fall maybe somewhere between the current Mac Pro, larger design, and then the Mac Mini in the family, at least when it comes to expansion and customizability. The report adds that Apple has also started development of a lower-priced external monitor to sell alongside its Pro Display XDR. And a less expensive monitor makes sense for consumer use versus professionals. It doesn't have to have the same exact performance as the Pro Display XDR. And I know that there are plenty of people that they just want a display that matches their other Apple gear. They want it to perform well, but they don't want it to cost $5,000 and then an additional $1,000 for the stand. Now, Apple can definitely make some waves in this market too, and they last had a $1,000 Thunderbolt display that they stopped selling in 2016. So everything I've told you here, if you are thinking about getting a new MacBook Pro or iMac or Mac Pro this year, please do not do it unless yours broke and you just desperately need a new one, because we anticipate now 2021 to be the year of the Mac, but now it's really the year of the Mac. It just depends on how you say it. So did you get all of that? Look, we're just in January right now. So we just finished CES 2021, and Samsung wasted no time announcing their new flagship phone line with the new Galaxy S21 featuring an all-new Snapdragon 888 processor, a speedy and responsive in-display fingerprint scanner, and it does so much more. The S21 Ultra, this is their highest end of the group, featuring 4 rear cameras, including 2 telephoto lenses, a 3x optical, and a 10x optical that dwarfs Apple's 2.5x optical on the 12 Pro Max. It also supports the S Pen for more functionality and then starts at $1,199. And remember, it is Samsung that after all these years that has always publicly trolled Apple every chance they can get for, things like removing the headphone jack, and then even recently removing the power adapter in the box. But it's Samsung that has gone along and done the same exact thing, right? We have no headphone jack or power adapter here in 2021, and we know tech companies, they copy each other or improve off one another. This is a constant back and forth. But trolling the competition and then doing the same exact thing that you criticize them for within the year? Come on, Sung! Yeah, I had to bust it out. Now, Apple has been holding on to their AirTags for a while now. We know that. They've been rumored for easily over a year now. Well, Samsung officially announced their own Galaxy SmartTag and has Bluetooth versions available for sale for $29.99 with their S21 lineup. Then we have SmartTag Plus. That will be an ultra-wideband version of their tag, just like AirTags is rumored for Apple, and will be released later this year for $39.99. Now, both Galaxy SmartTag and SmartTag Plus, they'll only work within Samsung's own ecosystem and nothing else. But Samsung released their SmartTags before Apple released their rumored AirTags. And then this also shows you just how fast things move in tech when a company can release a product based off a rumored product before that rumored product comes out. It's wild. All right, and some quick hits. Apple's reportedly developing a new podcast subscription service to compete with Spotify and others. That's according to The Information. Spotify, Sirius XM, and Amazon, these are really their big competition, and we're starting to see a trend of podcasts moving exclusively to specific services, and Apple, they don't want to be left empty-handed. This would also align with their growth in adding another service to their collection as either standalone or part of their Apple One bundle. Now, Apple, they also kept its strong lead for the true wireless headphones market space in 2020 with a 29% market share for the top spot. Xiaomi came in second with 13%, and Samsung at 5%. This is according to Counterpoint Research. We know that the AirPods product line has been responsible for their top position, and it might have even gotten like a little tiny boost with the addition of AirPods Max to the lineup. So it now makes perfect sense that Netflix is reportedly working on adding spatial audio support for their service, according to French website iPhone Soft. This is a feature that works with the iPhone and iPad, but Netflix doesn't support it yet at all for Apple products. That could change in the near future. And if you were worried about your Apple TV Plus free trial subscription ending in January after Apple originally extended it, hey, don't worry, be happy, because Apple is extending it again, this time all the way through July. So if your subscription was sent to end anywhere between January and June of this year, it will get extended to July at no cost. And that finally gives me time to watch Ted Lasso, because a lot of you have been begging me to watch it and say, hey, it's a good show. Okay, I'll find out. But getting more free content is always great. But then this is kind of, to me, also a sign that Apple is still pretty thirsty to get more exposure and signups, even during the pandemic when most of us have been home, because this is arguably the best time for people to try out the service and keep it. But for me, it doesn't make the cut after what HBO Max did and what Disney Plus announced for their future alongside Netflix. Those are really my big three that I pay for, and Apple TV Plus is on the fringe out there. It'll only be really part of my paid services if I ever decide to subscribe to Apple One, and I haven't yet. Still not compelled to, but you know, maybe something in 2021 changes that. All right, that's gonna do it for this video. If you like what you see, give me that thumbs up, subs up, and hit that notification bell, ding, to get my latest videos when they drop. Also, check out my Apple Bits XL audio podcast to get the latest deep dive with all these stories and more every week with special guests as well. And all my content is independent, and you can support my videos and my podcast at patreon.com/Brian Tong. You get benefits, early access to my content, and a completely ad-free version of the podcast. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Take care and be safe. Peace and love.